Danny lost his dad to liver cancer when he was a junior in high school. With the help of his mom, the guidance counselor, the school psychologist, and friends, Danny speaks thoughtfully about how he breaks through his grief.
I think the main thing is to try to confront reality as much as it hurts and as much as it sucks. It's unavoidable, and I think will only hurt you in the long run if one doesn't approach the issue at hand kind of with as much bravery and as much courage as you can, because it's I think it's easy to try to ignore it and say, oh, I'm moving on, and I'm not letting this slow me down, and no, I can do this, I can, and I don't think that helps as much as kind of going right at it and confronting the loss and saying to yourself that this is a person who has made you who you are, and you would be less than half, if not more, the person that you are without this person. So it's silly to. It's not silly. It's not in your best interest with the whole grieving process to not confront it with as much power as you can muster, because it takes years, and it takes a lifetime to get over it. So to just keep on working, always, confront it. It's straight pain, but it's I think in the long run will be much better. Outgoing. He's a good guy. He did a lot of good work. He had a rough life, really rough life. He came from the streets, basically. He was raised in Puerto Rico for the beginning of his life, and then sent away to live in an orphanage and in New York, where he was beaten if he spoke Spanish. So quickly forgot Spanish, and then had a rough life. So came up on the streets. Was running around trying to survive, and for a lot of years, and then met my mother, and they were able to rebuild their lives together and have me. But he was sick. He got sick while running on the streets. So that was a constant thing in my life, was that he was sick. And I wasn't really aware of it for a good amount of my life, the first half, and then the first half of the time that I had with him, and then became aware around 10 years old, 11, and or was told, and then things started making more sense, and kept on battling with HIV, and then Hep C, and finally liver cancer, and passed away from liver cancer my junior year of high school, which wasn't the best thing, but I don't know, good guy. Outgoing, a friend maker. I was always hoping to make people laugh. I think that was his main prerogative, and that was evident. I do it too. It's trying to, lighten the mood always. A lot of sports, a lot of, he got off work always before my mother did. So he would always pick me up from school and take me home and feed me throughout most of the week. So I'd stay in after school, and he'd get out of work around 6. We'd get into after school around then, 6:30. And then come home and watch the Cosby Show together, which are kind of a staple of our routine, and then down to homework and dinner, and then my mom would come home around 10:30, and bedtime. And And then sports, a lot of baseball and soccer. Taught me a lot about that. Taught me a lot of what I know about those sports. And yeah, that's a lot of what we did. Yeah, he got more and more sick, so yeah, I had a lot of complications. I was in school. Junior year is a difficult year. But I was kind of taking care of him and studying at the same time, which was crazy. So I would like bring him to the bathroom, and so it was like carry him to the bathroom. And then there were days that we had to, my mother especially, her job really suffered, her practice. She's a therapist. She had to keep on canceling on patients because she had to continuously drive back and forth between here and Mount Sinai, which is where she was getting most of his treatment. And yeah, we just started on, what do you call it, experimental drugs, or yeah, I forget what they're called, but whatever. And that didn't work, and I just remember, just running back and forth between home and then and the hospital. And then when we kind of all accepted that it was terminal, that hospice care came in and tried to make him as comfortable as possible. And so I had like a bed in his bedroom, like an extra bed. And I just went, I think trying to make him as comfortable as possible while I was trying to finish school, and my mom was trying to rebuild her practice, trying to get things back on schedule. Yeah, it was crazy. The first day was relief. It had been so much work for so much of my life that, just a constant. Yeah, it was always just kind of just took energy from all of us, mostly him. And yeah, it was just very kind of, it was like letting someone go, but also like letting out some, like a big exhale. So I actually fell asleep next to him after he had passed away. My mom gave me some time to lie next to him on the bed and talk to him, and she found me asleep next to him. Rebuilding, I think, trying to find out how to go from there, and it was tough. I don't know. I was like completely. It was like an out of body experience. It was weird. It's hard to describe because I don't know. Not too many people write about this, or they do, but it's. I don't know. It's. No one really captures it. It's very strange. So. I don't know, I felt like I was in a story. Like there was such an outpouring of love and care and help that like I was blown away. I couldn't really wrap my head around it. So I don't know, it was I had friends with me when he passed away. We all had gone to our graduation, the graduation for the seniors, and them saying like, "Oh, the junior class is now seniors," or whatever that was at Beth Elohim, and then I basically knew that day was his last day, and ran to to the ceremony and then really quickly ran back as soon as I knew it was finished. That was a crazy day. That was insane. I remember the great dean, Ms. Dresner, like finding me in the locker bay and knowing that I was kind of freaking out, and being really supportive and all that. And but yeah, I ran back and then I had 3 really close friends with me when he passed away, which was, yeah, it was weird. But so just from the get-go, like they were already there. So and family members from the community, friends and family from the community, like my neighbors in Prospect Heights, and then more people, family and things started coming. It was strange, and after that it was like in days and weeks after that it was more about, for me, I think I did the whole process very dumbly, not wisely, so, or not with much knowledge or experience. So I tried to distance myself from it, or kind of escape from it, and got really angry at my mother as I saw her really dealing with it, and which kind of got me angry. I think looking back on it, I think I was angry or jealous that she had the know-how to really grapple with it, and had time and made time for herself to sit alone, usually out on the porch because it was during the summer, in our backyard, and would just smoke and kind of try to decompress. And I saw her doing that, and I would get angry at her. I'd be like, "Oh, you're trying to wallow in it," or something. And looking back on it, that was definitely a much wiser way of going out about the process than what I did, which was escapist and fantastic things like watching movies with friends, or going out with friends, watching movies alone, or reading, and just things that would kind of bring me to a different reality. But it was, I think, avoiding the problem, and then now I'm still dealing with it. I think my mother has had loss before in her life, so I think I had a better way of going about it and is doing a little better, but I think I'm still holding on to some parts of, or not being able to let go fully, and that's holding me back on a few things. I'm not sure what exactly, but I think there are nagging things in the back of my mind that I can't really describe or pinpoint. But yeah, it's weird. It was a weird. It still feels weird talking about it, but it was so out of body, especially the first month or so. It was really weird. They were just around all the time, which was really nice. I'm an only child, and to have other people who were going through a similar thing in kind of academic or school life, and the high school I went to was so small that we had a lot all in common. So when we all had each other on our minds, it was just really helpful them being around, and not saying much, but being very accommodating with basically whatever I wanted to do. So if I just wanted to sit with my thoughts, that they would stay quiet and we'd all sit together. My best friend brought me, all of us, mango lassi, which is it was I don't know, a really meaningful gesture. Because he knew how much my mother and I and my father, and how everyone else who was there with us that day would like them and did like them. He just ran around the corner and was, I don't know, really was a nice thing to do and replenishing, and yeah, it meant a lot, and it was small, but it was helpful. Dr. Kaufman, the school psychologist, was able to meet with me a lot, and like I basically checked out my senior year, which sucked. The guidance counselor and the school psychologist like just did like, you know, a headstand for me, which was great. So they really were helpful, and I think the advice that I would give would be kind of not too closely, but to shadow the kid, the boy who has lost a father, to just always kind of be around and be there kind of in a symbolic way, and in a physical way, but like also being physically present, but really letting the kid know that they can come to anyone, because like I said, people who are older have had more experience with loss of life, so they are much more knowledgeable and aware of what it feels like. So you can get swallowed up in school when you've lost your father, you've lost your parent, someone who's, you know, made you who you are, and then you see, and it feels like you see everyone who has not lost any parents and lives quite comfortably, especially in this area, and it's very easy to feel swallowed up and lost in the sauce. With my mom, knock on wood, the support and her presence and her love is like always there and always unquestionable. So it made it easier and helpful in that process. So.